Every morning you choose who you become, the psychology of daily identity. Have you ever noticed how different you can feel from one morning to the next? Some days you wake up energized, disciplined, ready to move your life forward. Other days, you feel scattered, reactive, unsure of yourself. The circumstances may be the same, but your job hasn't changed. Your responsibilities haven't disappeared, but somehow, you feel different. What if the difference isn't random? What if every morning is not just the start of a schedule, but the start of an identity? Today we're exploring something powerful. The psychology of daily identity and how each morning, often without realizing it, you choose who you become. 1. Identity is not fixed. It's practiced most people. Think of identity as something solid and permanent. I'm just not disciplined. I'm an anxious person. I'm bad at mornings. I'm not the confident type. But psychology tells us something different. Identity isn't just something you have. It's something you repeatedly practice. Every time you act in a certain way, your brain takes notes. When you hit snooze 5 times, your mind quietly reinforces the story. I'm someone who avoids discomfort. When you get up the first time your alarm rings, even once, your brain records a different message. I'm someone who keeps promises to myself. These small acts seem insignificant, but over time, they stack into a narrative. And that narrative becomes the lens through which you see yourself, the key insight. You don't become confident first and then act confidently. You act confidently, and then your identity shifts. Morning is powerful because it is your first behavioral vote of the day. It sets the tone for who you believe you are. Point 2. The brain loves consistency, so it protects. Your chosen identity, your brain is wired for consistency. Once you see yourself in a certain way, you unconsciously look for evidence to confirm it. If you wake up and immediately check your phone, scroll through emails, and react to notifications, you reinforce the identity of someone who is driven by external demands. The day begins in reaction mode. But if you wake up and spend 5 minutes in stillness, no phone, no noise, you send a different signal to your nervous system. I lead, don't chase. This isn't about productivity hacks. About identity cues. Research in behavioral psychology shows that small, repeated actions shape self-perception. The mind asks, what kind of person would do this consistently? And then it answers. If you journal daily, you begin to see yourself as reflective. If you exercise regularly, you begin to see yourself as disciplined. If you speak kindly to yourself each morning, you begin to see yourself as worthy. The brain protects whatever identity you reinforce most often. So the question becomes, what identity are your mornings protecting? 3. Mornings are emotionally imprintable. A reason many spiritual traditions emphasize early rituals, before the noise of the world floods in. Your mind is highly suggestible. Your thoughts are softer, more impressionable. You're psychologically speaking more open to imprint. If your first thoughts are stress, comparison, or self-criticism, those emotions can color your entire day. Not because the world is harsh, but because your nervous system has already been primed for threat. But if your first thoughts are intentional, gratitude, purpose, clarity, your body shifts into a different state. You move from survival to direction. Think of it like wet cement. In the morning, your identity is softer. As the day goes on, it hardens around whatever shape you formed early on. This is why even 3 to 10 intentional minutes can be transformative. Not because they magically fix your life, but because they influence who shows up to live it. Point 4. You are always becoming, never static. One of the most liberating psychological truths is this. You're not a fixed personality. You are a pattern. In motion, neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself, doesn't stop in childhood. It continues throughout your life. Which means your habits, emotional responses, and even self-concept are adaptable. But change rarely happens through dramatic reinvention. It happens through daily identity, reinforcement. If every morning you ask, who do I want to be today? How would that version of me act in the first 30 minutes? What small action would confirm that identity? You begin to interrupt autopilot. Instead of waking up as yesterday's version of you, you wake up as a conscious participant in your becoming. And here's the subtle shift. You don't wait to feel like your future self. You practice being them, even if it's imperfect, even if it's small, even if no one sees it, especially then. Point 5. The power of identity-based mornings. Let's make this practical. Instead of saying, I need to be more productive, try asking, what would a focused person do in the first hour of the day? Instead of, I need to be less anxious, try, what would a grounded person think upon waking? Instead of, I want to be more confident. Try, what decision would a confident version of me make this morning? Notice the shift. Goals focus on outcomes. Identity focuses on embodiment. When your actions align with identity, motivation becomes less fragile. You're no longer forcing yourself to act. You're expressing who you are choosing to be. And the more often you express it, the more natural it feels. A quiet truth most people miss. You don't need a new year. You don't need a crisis. You don't need permission. You need a morning. Each sunrise is psychological permission to begin again. The world may remember who you were yesterday, but your brain responds most strongly to what you repeatedly do today. Every morning you wake up, you stand at a small but powerful crossroads: autopilot or intention, reaction or direction, old identity or emerging one. And the choice is rarely loud, it's subtle, it's in the alarm, the breath, the first thought, the first action. But subtle choices compound. A simple morning identity practice tomorrow morning. Try this. Before reaching for your phone, pause. Take one slow breath. Then ask yourself, who am I practicing becoming today? Choose one word: calm, disciplined, creative, focused, patient, bold. Then choose one small action that matches that word. If it's calm, maybe you stretch for 2 minutes. If it's disciplined, maybe you make your bed immediately. If it's creative, maybe you write one paragraph before anything else. Small action. Clear identity. Do this for a week. Notice how your self-perception shifts. You won't feel like a completely different person overnight, but you will begin to trust yourself more. And trust is the foundation of transformation. You are not behind. You are becoming. Some people wake up feeling behind in life, as if everyone else has already decided who they are and moved ahead. But identity is not a race, it's a practice. You don't arrive at a final version of yourself. You continually refine the one you're reinforcing. And here's the empowering part. If identity is practiced daily, then it's never too late to practice differently. No dramatic announcement required. Just one intentional morning at a time. Closing. Reflection tomorrow morning will come whether you prepare for it or not. The alarm will ring. Light will enter the room. Your thoughts will begin to form. And in that quiet space between waking and reacting, you will have a choice. Not a loud, cinematic choice, a subtle one. Who am I today? Not based on fear. Not based on yesterday's mistakes. Not based on someone else's expectations. But based on who I am willing to practice becoming. That is the psychology of daily identity, and that is your quiet power. If this message resonated with you, take a moment today, not to change your whole life, but to change your next morning. On Awaken Mindset, we explore the small psychological shifts that create powerful long-term transformation. If you found value in this reflection, consider subscribing and joining this community of people who are choosing growth, one day at a time. And before you go, share in the comments. Who are you practicing becoming tomorrow morning? Your answer might be the first step toward becoming it.